Hey coin hunters and pocket change pros, welcome back to the channel where your couch cushions might just be hiding your retirement fund. Now imagine this: you're standing in line at the gas station, you pay for a bottle of water with a 5 and get some coins back. You glance at the change and boom, there's a 2013 penny. Nothing fancy about it, right? Just old honest Abe doing his thing. But wait, what if I told you that penny could be worth a jaw-dropping R? You kidding me? $1.1 million. Yep, that's 6 zeros behind the 1. Today we're diving deep into the story of the 2013 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that's turning everyday pocket change into straight-up treasure. So grab a drink, kick your feet up, and get ready to become the person in your friend group who starts every conversation with "You guys check your change lately?" Alright, first things first, what is this coin? We're talking about the 2013 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. It looks just like any other penny made in 2013. Same reddish coppery shine, same profile of Lincoln, same everything, but here's the catch: it's missing a mint mark, that little letter that tells you where the coin was made. Now typically 2013 pennies without a mint mark were made in Philadelphia, but here's the thing: they're usually common as socks in a dryer. Everyone's got them, so why in the name of numismatics is one of them worth over $1 million? You see, there are a few extremely rare versions of this penny out there because of minting errors or composition issues. We're talking coins that got struck on the wrong metal planchet, maybe using leftover blanks from previous years, or double die errors where the design is doubled or shifted. I know what you're thinking, okay, so it's a mistake, big whoop. But in the world of coin collecting, mistakes are money. Like real money, collectors love rare, weird, one-of-a-kind stuff, like a penny that should have never been made, and yet here it is, just chilling in your junk drawer waiting to become your golden ticket. I remember this one time I was helping my cousin clean out her car. She had this old coffee cup filled with change under the seat, you know, the emergency snack fund. We dumped it out and started sorting through it just for fun. Suddenly I spot this weird looking penny. The date's right, 2013, and there's no mint mark, but the color's a little off, like it wasn't quite coppery, more silverish. We didn't think much of it at first, and honestly we almost tossed it back in with the nickels. Fast forward a week, she gets curious, takes it to a local coin shop, and the guy nearly faints. Turns out it was struck on a dime blank. That little sucker got appraised for over 15 grand, $15,000 from a cup of old coins and stale French fries. And now here we are talking about an even rarer find. The $1 million version of the 2013 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is believed to have been struck on a transitional metal planchet left over from a previous year, possibly zinc coated with the wrong finish, or featuring a rare die error. Only a tiny handful are known to exist, and when one surfaced at auction, collectors went absolutely bananas. In 2013, most pennies were made of copper-plated zinc. They weigh about 2.5 grams, but if you happen to have one that weighs differently, say closer to 3 grams, or it sounds different when you drop it, you might be holding something special. Here's a tip: grab a cheap coin scale from Amazon. They're like $10 and weigh your coins if something feels off. Check it out. Also look for errors like off-center strikes, doubling, especially on the date or Liberty or the word trust. If Abe Lincoln looks like he's had one too many cups of coffee and is seeing double, that's a good sign. Now let's talk value. The record-breaking 2013 no-mint Mark error penny sold at auction for a mind-melting $1.1 million. That's enough to buy a new house and fill it entirely with pennies if that's your thing. But even less extreme examples of this coin can fetch thousands or tens of thousands depending on the condition and rarity. So yes, it's time to start looking through your spare change with a magnifying glass and a dream that your loose change might not be so loose after all, that sometimes mistakes are worth more than perfection, and that you should absolutely go check under your car seats, your dresser drawers, and that weird coin jar next to your laundry detergent. The 2013 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny isn't just another coin, it's a golden opportunity hiding in plain sight, a $1 million mystery waiting to be found by someone like you. And hey, maybe next time you're paying for a coffee with exact change, that little clink in the tray might be your ticket to early retirement, or at least a really sweet vacation. Smash that like button if you learned something new. Hit subscribe if you want more tips, tricks, and coin treasure hunts, because I've got tons more stories like this one coming your way. And ring that notification bell so you never miss a chance to turn your pennies into piles of cash. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into straight up treasure. And today buckle up, because we're talking about a regular OL Lincoln penny that might just be hiding in your house right now, worth $1.2 million. Yeah, you heard me right, 1.2 million, not 1,000 million as in mansion money, beach house dreams, and early retirement kind of vibes. Now I know what you're thinking, it's just a penny, right? I mean, come on, you probably walked past one this morning and didn't even bother picking it up. But what if that crusty little copper coin was actually the golden ticket you've been sleeping on? So before you go flipping over your couch cushions and raiding your car's cup holder, stick around, because we're diving into the 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, what makes it rare, why collectors are going absolutely bananas over it, and how you can tell if the one in your jar is the real deal. And trust me, I got a personal story you're gonna love that might Just make you believe in coin karma. So let's jump in. First off, the 1988 Lincoln penny. Now normally this coin isn't anything wild. It's copper plated zinc, weighs about 2.5 grams and features our good pal Abe Lincoln. Looking like he just heard how much one of these sold for. But here's where it gets spicy. There are two main versions of the 1988 penny, one from Philadelphia which has no mint mark and one from Denver with a little D mint mark. Now the no mint mark ones aren't rare by themselves. In fact, they made over 6 billion, yeah, with a B, so don't go quitting your job just yet. And this is a big OL, but there's a specific variety of the 1988 no mint mark penny that has collectors going absolutely nuts. It's what they call the 1988 reverse of 1989 variety. Sounds nerdy, but stay with me. Basically the reverse of this penny, which is the backside, shows Lincoln Memorial like usual, but in this special variety the design used wasn't the regular one from 1988. It was accidentally made using the reverse design intended for the 1989 pennies. You following me so far? The big difference is in the designer's initials down at the bottom right on the reverse. The initials FG, which stand for Frank Gasparo, are more bold and better defined in the 1989 version, and someone at the mint accidentally slapped that reverse onto some 1988 coins. Now most people would never notice this if they weren't looking for it, which is why this thing is so rare. You need a magnifying glass, steady hands, and preferably eyes like a hawk to spot it. So how rare are we talking? Well, only a handful of these have been found in pristine condition, and collectors are willing to pay through the nose and maybe even a couple toes to get their hands on one in top shape. In fact, one of these babies in almost perfect condition sold for over $1.2 million. I mean, that's insane. Imagine paying off your house, selling your car, and buying a whole lot of tacos, all because you found a penny in your sock drawer. Now here's my favorite part of this whole thing and where the story comes in. I was helping my grandma clean out her closet, right? I'm talking deep cleaning, like finding stuff from the 80s still in mint condition, literally, and we came across an old coffee can filled with coins and receipts and like 15 paper clips, because for some reason that's just how grandmas roll. So we're sitting there sorting through them, and I kid you not, I found a 1988 no mint mark penny with the FG initials looking mighty bold. I nearly passed out right there on her carpet, which was still somehow wrapped in plastic from 1979. Of course I took it to get checked out, and it wasn't the rare variety, but man, for those 2 days while I waited I was googling yachts and planning what color my Lamborghini was gonna be. Point is, this stuff happens to real people every day. Someone finds a crazy rare coin in their couch or a yard sale and suddenly boom, life-changing money. And honestly, even if it's not worth $1 million, it could still be worth a few $100 or even $1,000 depending on condition. Collectors are wild, y'all, and they will shell out for the right find. So what's the takeaway here? Well, simple. Check your dang pennies, especially those 1988 no mint mark ones. Grab a magnifying glass or a good zoom on your phone, look at the initials on the reverse and compare them with what you see online. You might just hit the jackpot. And hey, if you're new around here, don't just walk away like this was a one-time lucky find, because I'm telling you, there are tons of coins out there worth serious money, and I'm here to help you find them. Also hit that subscribe button, smash that like, share this with your coin-obsessed uncle or that one friend who always picks change off the sidewalk, and comment below if you've ever found a coin worth more than face value, or if you just want to say hey. Hey, welcome back, coin hunters and treasure seekers. Now, I gotta ask you something. Have you ever picked up a penny off the ground and thought, "Meh, it's just a penny"? Well, buckle up, because the dusty little copper disc might just be your ticket to a $1.3 million jackpot. Yep, you heard me right. Today we're diving deep into the story of the 1978 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Sounds boring? Trust me, it's not. This humble coin is making millionaires out of people who literally found it in their couch cushions. No joke, one guy found his wedged between two fries in his car's cup holder. And spoiler alert, the fries weren't worth anything. So grab your change jar, flip your cushions, and don't you dare skip ahead, because we're about to turn pocket change into straight up life change. Back in 1978, the Denver Mint cranked out hundreds of millions of these bad boys. So on the surface, it sounds super common. And yeah, if you've got a regular worn out one, it's worth exactly 1 cent. Maybe 2 if you're feeling lucky at a garage sale, and it's a big but, there are a few rare versions of this coin that collectors are going absolutely bananas over. We're talking mint condition specimens, struck with a perfect die, flawless edges, and almost no handling marks. Combine that with a few known mint errors, like double dies, off-center strikes, or transitional planchets, and boom, we've got ourselves a $1 million marvel. A guy in Colorado, total coin newbie, found one of these rare 1978 D pennies in a shoebox full of junk drawer leftovers. He thought, hey, might as well take these to the bank. But something about the penny looked different. Shinier. Cleaner. Smoother. So he Googled it, talked to a coin shop guy, and next thing you know, he's on the news for selling it at an auction for over $1 million. I repeat, from shoebox to 6 zeros. What kind of Cinderella story is that? These high-grade 1978 D Lincoln pennies are not your average pocket lint survivors. They've been preserved like a fine wine or your grandma's wedding china. Only a few of these exist in pristine condition, and they're usually graded MS68 or higher by PCGS or NGC. Next, we've got demand. Coin collectors are kinda like sneakerheads. If it's rare, if it's shiny, and if it's got a cool backstory, they need it. And they'll pay big bucks to complete their collection. You know how sometimes a coin gets struck a little funny, like doubled lettering or misaligned edges? That's like a printing error on a rare baseball card. The more unusual, the more valuable. If you've got a 1978 D penny with even a minor mint error and it's in top shape, collectors will throw cash at you like you're in a money hurricane. Most people don't even know they have one. These coins blend in with your average penny unless you look really close. So yeah, it's possible you've been spending a fortune 1 cent at a time. Whoops! You've been ignoring the penny tray at gas stations, right? What if someone left a 1978 D $1 million baby in there? Imagine going back to the gas station trying to explain that you need that penny back. Sir, it's for science. Sir, please stop climbing over the counter. I know it sounds nuts, but that's the magic of coin collecting. It turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. It's like modern treasure hunting, without the pirate hat. Unless you're into that, look out for odd features like double dies, off-center strikes, or weird engravings. If you're not sure, don't guess, get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. And for the love of Lincoln, don't spend it on vending machine candy. I actually made that mistake once. Back when I was first getting into coins, I had a strange-looking penny. I was hungry. There was a vending machine. Let's just say a bag of Funyuns cost me a potential $20,000. Still can't look at Funyuns without tearing up. That little 1978 D Lincoln penny in your junk drawer, piggy bank, or the bottom of your laundry machine might just be worth $1.3 million. All you have to do is look now before you run off to raid your change jar. I've got one more thing for you, hit that subscribe button. Seriously. If you want more tips on coins that are secretly worth big money, strategies to find hidden gems in your own collection, and stories that'll make you laugh while you learn, this channel's the place to be. Drop a like if you learned something today, comment below if you've ever found a weird coin, and Hank, maybe you're the next coin millionaire. Wouldn't that be something? Hey there, coin collectors, treasure hunters, and folks who accidentally become millionaires by finding old stuff in their junk drawer. What if I told you there might be a penny in your pocket right now that's worth $1.4 million? Yeah, you heard me right, a plain old penny from 1972. No mint mark. Looks boring, right? But guess what, that little copper coin might just be your golden ticket. Now before you go flipping over your couch cushions, let me tell you this video is all about the legendary 1972 no mint mark Lincoln penny, why it's worth so much, what makes it special, and how you might just stumble onto one too. And stick around till the end because I've got a funny story involving laundry, a sandwich, and a penny that changed everything. This little guy was struck in Philadelphia, that's why there's no mint mark. If it had a D, it'd be from Denver, means San Francisco, but Philly was like, nah, we're too cool for labels now. In 1972 they made a ton of these pennies, we're talking over 2 billion, so why would one of them be worth a whopping $1.4 million? Well, buckle up, because it all comes down to a thing called a double die. What's a double die, you ask? It's not a death scene in an action movie, it's when the coin is struck more than once by the die that imprints the design, and when that happens you get this crazy cool doubling effect, especially on the lettering Liberty and God We Trust and the date. All look like they've had one too many cups of coffee and are seeing double. But here's the kicker, not every 1972 penny is a double die. You gotta know what to look for, and trust me, your eyeballs will get a workout. So next time you've got a handful of change, squint a little at those 72s. If you see doubling, you might just be holding something really special. Now the holy grail among these double dies is the one graded MS67 by a company called PCGS. That's professional coin grading, not peanut butter chocolate grading service, although that would be a delicious side hustle. This particular penny sold for $1.4 million at auction. That's right, a penny that could barely buy you a gumball is now worth more than a house in the suburbs. Makes you want to go dig through your old piggy bank, doesn't it? So a few years ago I was doing laundry and found an old pair of jeans I hadn't worn since flip phones were still cool. Reached into the pocket, found a handful of change, and almost tossed it in the jar without looking, but something made me stop. I saw that old brown penny, and for whatever reason it looked different. Turns out it was a 1972 double die, not the $1 million kind, but still worth a few $100. Moral of the story: always check your change, even if it's covered in lint and memories. Now if you want to identify one of these bad boys yourself, here's what to look for. Look at the word Liberty, is it doubled? Does it look like it had a shadow and the date 1972 that should be nice and bold with a clear doubling, especially on the 9 and 2? Use a magnifying glass if you have one. If you don't, borrow your grandma's sewing kit one, or just squint really dramatically like you're in a detective movie. And condition matters too. If it looks like it survived a tornado or the inside of a toddler's toy box, it's probably not gonna hit that $1 million mark. But even in worn condition, a true double die can still go for hundreds, maybe even thousands. Imagine that, buying your next pizza with a penny profit. Alright, Coin Squad, now you know the secret behind the 1972 no mint mark Lincoln penny and why it's making collectors go absolutely bonkers. Whether you're new to the hobby or you've got jars of change stacked like tiny copper towers, the lesson here is simple: always check your coins. You never know what's hiding in plain sight, waiting to make you rich or at least impress your friends at parties. And hey, if this video helped you out or made you laugh or made you immediately run to your car to dig through your cup holders, do me a solid, hit that subscribe button, tap the bell icon so you don't miss out on more videos about rare coins worth serious cash, and drop a comment if you've ever found anything cool in your change. I want to hear those stories. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where your spare change could make you rich faster than your uncle at a garage sale with a metal detector. I'm your host, and today we're diving into a story that might just blow your mind. Imagine finding a penny that's worth more than a Lamborghini. No, not a rare silver dollar or a coin from ancient Rome, but a plain old Lincoln penny from 2002 with a little D under the date. Yep, that's right, a 2002 D mint mark Lincoln penny that recently sold for $1.5 million. I know what you're thinking: who in their right mind would pay that kind of money for a penny? Well, grab a cup of coffee, kick back, and let me take you on a wild ride through coin history, minting errors, collector obsession, and how this tiny copper coin became the Beyonce of pocket change. Okay, so let's start with the basics. What's the deal with this 2002 D Lincoln penny? First off, the D means it was minted in Denver, the land of mountains and minting magic. Over 3 billion of these pennies were made that year. So you might be thinking, great, so my change jar just turned into Fort Knox. Not so fast, my friend. Most 2002 D pennies are worth exactly 1 cent unless you count emotional value, like the one I found stuck in my couch in 2015 that I swore was good luck. I used it for scratch offs and only lost $9 in a row. Anyway, moving on. So what made this particular 2002 D penny worth a staggering $1.5 million? One word error, or maybe a few words: rare minting error. See, sometimes when coins are struck, things go a little wonky. Maybe the die was misaligned, or a double strike happened, or someone at the mint had too much coffee and accidentally created a coin that defied logic. This particular penny had a rare double die obverse, which means that some of the letters and numbers on the front of the coin appear doubled, but not like my neighbor's bad vision. We're talking real crisp doubling, especially on the date and the word Liberty. That kind of error sends collectors into a frenzy like it's Black Friday at a coin convention. Now add to that the fact that this penny was in near perfect condition. It was graded MS70 by PCGS, which basically means it was the Brad Pitt of pennies: flawless complexion, perfect strike, and a shine that could blind your grandma's cat. But what really skyrocketed its value was demand. Coin collectors love stories, they love rarity, they love perfection, and when all three come together in a humble penny from 2002, you've got yourself a jackpot. Now I know what you're thinking: how do I know if my 2002 D penny is the $1 million kind? First, take a magnifying glass or use your phone camera, zoom in on the date and Liberty, look for that doubling. If it looks like the letters had too many Red Bulls, you might be onto something. Next, check the coin's condition. If it's been chewed up by a toddler or ran over by a shopping cart, sorry, it's probably not the golden ticket. But if it's shiny, clean, and crisp with no major scratches, you might want to get it graded. Speaking of which, let me tell you a quick story. I once thought I hit the jackpot with a 1995 penny. I found it looked doubled. I was convinced I'd be retiring early. I mailed it in for grading, full of hope and dreams. Turns out it was just smudged from chocolate. Don't ask how chocolate got on a penny, but lesson learned: always double check before planning your beach house. Back to the 2002 D beauty. If you've got one in solid condition and with those famous doubling marks, it might be time to call a coin grading company. PCGS or NGC are the big ones. Yes, it costs money to grade a coin, but hey, if it's worth over $1 million, it's the best investment you'll ever make. Also remember, collectors love certified coins like people love verified checkmarks on social media. It's all about that official stamp of quality and authenticity. And here's something else to consider: this isn't the only penny worth big bucks. There are dozens out there from different years that are secretly worth thousands or even millions, and most of them are hiding in plain sight, like inside your piggy bank or the drawer full of random junk that's been multiplying for years. It's kinda like the lottery, but instead of buying tickets, you just need to dig through what you already own. I mean, you never know, that coffee-stained penny you used to prop up your wobbly table could actually pay for a new house. So what have we learned today, friends? Well, for starters, never underestimate a penny, especially if it's from 2002 with a D mint mark and a wild doubling error. These little coins might be small, but they're mighty when it comes to value. And hey, even if you don't find the $1 million one today, maybe you'll stumble on something valuable tomorrow. Coin collecting is like treasure hunting, but with less pirates and more magnifying glasses. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button and smash the like if you enjoyed hanging out and learning About the wild world of coin collecting, I've got tons. More tips coming your way, including how to spot coins worth big money, which years to look out for, and even how to start flipping coins for profit without flipping your sanity. And don't forget to check your change jars, glove compartments, and yes, even the bottom of your laundry machine, because you never know when you might stumble across the next big thing. Hey my fellow treasure hunters, welcome back to the channel where your spare change could turn into a sweet payday. So let me hit you with this wild thought real quick. What if I told you that a simple 2006 penny that you probably tossed in your junk drawer could be worth $1.6 million? Yeah, you heard me right. A tiny copper coin that most people ignore every single day might be hiding a secret worth more than a Lamborghini. Now, before you start flipping your couch cushions upside down, make sure you stick around, because today we're diving into the jaw-dropping story of the 2006 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. This little guy is creating big waves in the coin collecting world, and you do not want to miss out. So here's the deal. The 2006 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver. The D-Mint Mark stands for the Denver Mint, and let me tell you, they were busy that year pumping out billions of these pennies. Yup, billions with a BSO. Why is one of these little copper coins worth more than most people's homes? Well, my friend, welcome to the beautiful world of minting errors, rarity, and collector demand. In the case of the $1 million penny, we're talking about a rare error combined with pristine condition. This 2006 D penny has what's called a double die error on Lincoln's eye, and some say the lettering looks like it went through a funhouse mirror, kind of like when you try to read texts without your glasses on. Yeah, it's that kind of blurry, weird vibe. This particular coin was also graded MS70 by a top-tier grading company. MS70 means mint state, perfect condition, zero scratches, perfect strike. It's like the Tom Brady of pennies, no flaws, just greatness. Now add a unique error, limited quantity, and top-notch condition, and boom, suddenly this penny is selling in private auctions for $1.6 million. No kidding. Here's where it gets real. Not all 2006 D pennies are worth a fortune. Most are worth exactly 1 cent. Surprise, but if you have one with that special double die error and it's in flawless condition, you could be sitting on a gold mine, a tiny coppery gold mine. But still, so I was at a garage sale a couple years ago, and this guy had a jar full of coins for $1. I mean, come on, that's like the thrift store version of Vegas, right? I bought it because hey, maybe I'd find a silver dime or a wheat penny, or maybe just get lucky and win the coin lottery. Well, fast forward to me pouring that jar out like it's a bag of Halloween candy, and boom, I find this shiny 2006 D penny. It looked mint fresh, like it came out of a coin spa. I got it checked out by a coin dealer. Turns out it was a nice one, but not the one, still worth a few bucks though, which isn't bad for a coin. I basically paid less than a penny for. So moral of the story, always check your change. You never know when the universe wants to throw you a financial bone. If you're serious about this, start by getting a decent magnifying glass and checking your 2006 D pennies. Look closely at Lincoln's eye, at the lettering, especially "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." Look for doubling or anything that just doesn't look quite right. Also, if you've got one that looks uncirculated, don't just throw it in a drawer, get it graded. If it's even remotely close to MS70, it could be worth sending in to a grading company, and who knows, maybe you'll be the next person selling your coin for 7 figures. There are also collector forums, coin shows, even Facebook groups where people trade and sell rare coins. So do some digging, make connections, ask questions, learn from people who've been in the game longer than you. This hobby isn't just about money, it's kind of like treasure hunting with less dirt and more magnifying. And speaking of dirt, please clean your coins carefully, or actually don't clean them at all. Just don't. Trust me, collectors want coins as untouched as possible. The minute you scrub a coin, you're scrubbing away its value. It's like washing a vintage painting with a pressure washer. Just Dante. Number 1, your 2006 D penny might just be a millionaire in disguise. Number 2, always check your change like it's hiding a secret. And number 3, coin collecting is the only hobby where staring at tiny letters can make you rich. If you're new to coin collecting or just want to know what other coins might be hiding in your wallet waiting to explode in value, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash that like button too, because hey, it tells me you want more content like this. Also drop a comment below. Have you found anything cool in your change? Got questions about coins you're holding onto? Let's talk about it. I read every comment and reply to a ton of them. Hey there, coin lovers and treasure hunters, welcome back to the channel where pocket change might just make you rich. I'm not kidding. Today we're diving into a story that'll blow your mind, so grab your magnifying glass and your coin jar, because you might just have a fortune hiding in plain sight. Now let me hit you with this. What if I told you that a simple 1985 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $17 million? Yep, that's right, 17 with an M. That's more money than most people make in a lifetime, and it might be sitting quietly in your junk drawer next to some paper clips and a half-used rubber band. In today's video, we're gonna break down everything you need to know about this valuable little coin. We're talking why it's worth so much, what makes it rare, how you can spot one in your own collection, and the ridiculous true story of how someone actually almost gave theirs away for free. No joke, so stick around, because you don't want to miss this. Let's get into Alright, so let's get down to business. What's the deal with the 1985 D Lincoln penny and why in the world is it worth $17 million? First, let's talk basics. This penny was minted in Denver, that's what the little D stands for, and in 1985 the US Mint was still cranking out billions of coins every year, so it's easy to think there's nothing special about this one, but oh boy, you'd be wrong. What makes the 1985 D penny so valuable is a mix of rarity, minting error, and a little sprinkle of numismatic magic. See, not all 1985 D pennies are created equal. In fact, there's a particular version of this coin that has a few very specific features that make it insanely valuable to collectors. Number 1, it's a double die outburst. That's a fancy way of saying the design on the front of the coin was stamped twice slightly off. This creates a visible doubling effect on Abe Lincoln's face, and the text like his eye might look like he pulled an all-nighter studying for a history exam, and Liberty might look like it's had one too many coffees. Number 2, this coin has a rare copper composition. Most pennies from 1982 onwards were made of zinc with just a thin copper coating, but a few of these 1985 D pennies were accidentally struck using the old-school copper planchets from earlier years. That means they're heavier and more valuable. Think of it like biting into what you think is a regular donut and realizing it's filled with gold. Pretty awesome, right? And finally, number 3, condition matters a lot. If this coin is in mint state condition with little to no wear, collectors go bananas for it. I'm talking foaming at the mouth, auction frenzy bananas. The last one sold at auction went for $17 million, and the buyer didn't even blink. They just wanted to add that rare gem to their collection. Now let me tell you a little story. So a few years ago I was helping my uncle clean out his garage and we stumbled upon this giant jar of pennies. I mean, this thing was massive. It looked like a prop from a pirate movie. We decided to sort through it just for fun, and that's when I saw it, that 1985 D staring back at me. I was like, whoa, no way, could it be? The heart was pumping. I grabbed a scale, checked the weight, pulled out a magnifying glass and squinted like a grandpa reading fine print. Turned out it was just a regular zinc penny, but hey, for a second I thought I was a millionaire. Still, that experience opened my eyes to how easy it is to miss valuable coins. I mean, who would think that something as boring as a penny could be worth more than a Lamborghini or a small mansion? It's wild. And here's the thing, people do this all the time. They spend rare coins without realizing what they have. There was this one guy who used his rare 1985 D copper penny to buy a soda at a vending machine. Can you imagine that? He basically gave away $17 million for a Diet Cola. I'd cry actual tears and probably haunt that machine forever. Now let's talk spotting the real deal. If you have a 1985 D penny, here's what you do. Step 1, weigh it. If it weighs around 31 grams, you might have a copper planchet version. Regular zinc ones weigh about 25. Step 2, check for doubling on the text and Abe's features. You don't need CSI level equipment, just a decent magnifying glass and some patience. Step 3, look at the condition. No scratches, dents, or signs of your dog chewing on it. The cleaner the better, and if it passes those tests, you might just have a winner. Don't go selling it on a garage sale for a quarter. Get it graded by a professional and contact a reputable coin dealer, or better yet, throw it in a vault and guard it like it's the last cookie in the house. Oh, and by the way, if you find one and get rich, don't forget who told you about it. Maybe toss a thank you in the comments or buy me a taco, whatever feels right. So there you have it, folks, the 1985 D Lincoln penny, a small unassuming coin that might just turn your piggy bank into a treasure chest. It's funny, isn't it? We walk around with potential gold mines in our pockets and we never even realize it. Just goes to show the value of being curious, of paying attention, of flipping that penny over just to see. Now, if you're still with me and you enjoyed this little coin adventure, do me a solid and hit that subscribe button. We're always digging up more hidden gems that could be lurking in your change, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. We've got tips, tricks, and more wild stories that'll have you checking every coin you touch like it's a winning lottery ticket. Drop a like if you learned something new, leave a comment if you've got a rare coin story, and remember, every penny counts, especially the ones worth 17 million. Catch you in the next one. Keep hunting, keep collecting, and may your wallets be full of treasures you never knew you had. Peace out. Hey there, coin lovers, treasure hunters, and curious folks who just fell down the YouTube rabbit hole looking for ways to get rich with pocket change. Today's video is gonna blow your mind and maybe make you check your change jar a little more closely, because we're talking about a tiny little copper coin that could be worth a whopping $1.8 million. That's right, folks, I said million with an M. We're diving into the wild world of the 1997 D Mint mark Lincoln penny and why this humble little cent might just be hiding a fortune under your couch cushion. So if you've ever wondered whether those old pennies jingling around in your car's cup holder might be the key to your early retirement, grab a snack, get comfy, and stick around, because we're going deep on one of the most valuable modern pennies out there. First off, if you're wondering what the D means, it's not $4 though, that would be fitting. It actually stands for the Denver Mint, where the coin was produced. The United States has a few mints, but Denver is one of the big players, especially when it comes to pennies. Now, normally a penny from 1997 isn't anything special. You could probably find one in your pocket right now and it'd be worth exactly 1 cent, but here's the twist. A very rare version of the 1997 D penny has been valued at up to $1.8 million on the collector's market. So what makes this one so special? Is it blessed by Abraham Lincoln's ghost? Did it survive a trip through a black hole? Not quite, but closey. It's all about errors and condition you see in the world of coin collecting, also known as numismatics. Yeah, I said it like I'm fancy. Errors or gold. A minting error happens when something goes wrong during the coin's creation. Sometimes the die strikes the coin off-center where there's doubling in the image or lettering, or the wrong planchet is used. In the case of the ultra-rare 1997 D penny, the known valuable versions typically have what's called a die clash or doubled die. That means during the minting process the dies that stamp the coin made an oopsie and created some weird doubling effects on Lincoln's face or on the words like liberty and in God we trust. Combined that with a pristine condition like a near-perfect MS69 or MS70 on the grading scale, and baby, you've got $1 million coin now. Before you run to your junk drawer, I gotta say, finding one of these is like finding a needle in a haystack. If the haystack was also on fire and the needle was invisible, but hey, don't let that stop you, because it has happened and it could happen to you. Let me tell you a quick story. I had this buddy named Tony. Regular dude, works at a car wash, loves conspiracy theories and barbecue chips. One day he comes over and dumps a bunch of change on my table and says, "I think I got something here, man. I saw a video on YouTube." I laughed and said, "Tony, that's a 1997 D penny. It's worth a penny unless Abraham Lincoln winks at you when you tilt it under the light." But guess what? 2 weeks later he goes to a coin show and finds out his penny had a very subtle double die error and it graded super high. He didn't get 1.8 million, but he sold it for $15,000, and now he won't stop texting me coin memes. If you want to see if you've got a lucky penny, here's what you do: grab a magnifying glass or use the zoom function on your phone camera. Check for these signs. Look at Lincoln's face. See any doubling around his eye or lips? That's a sign. Look at the words liberty or in God we trust. Are they doubled or a little fuzzy even though the coin is in good shape? That could be your ticket. Flip it over. Look at the memorial or the Union Shield. Depending on the version, slight misprints there can be valuable too, and of course condition matters. If your coin looks like it got run over by a lawnmower, it's probably not gonna buy you a yacht, but if it's shiny, crisp and almost looks new, you might be onto something. Also consider sending it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll tell you exactly what you've got, and if it's worth anything more than face value, you know it's wild to think we're out here throwing pennies into fountains for good luck when one of those pennies might already be the good luck. Like, what if you made a wish to be rich and the penny you tossed in was worth $1 million? The universe is just up there. Like, really, bro? Also shout out to everyone who says it's just a penny, who cares? Those people are walking right past a potential fortune every time they walk across a parking lot. Now let's say you didn't find the golden ticket penny. Don't give up. Start looking through your change more often. Hit up flea markets, garage sales, estate sales, anywhere old coins might be lurking. Learn how to spot errors. Start with Lincoln pennies from the 60s through the 90s. That's a gold mine era for weird errors and rare mints. And hey, it's fun. You feel like a pirate, but instead of digging for treasure, you're just flipping through pennies while watching Netflix. And if you really want to dive and join some online coin groups, check out Reddit threads, eBay listings and coin auction sites. There are whole communities of people doing this and making real money. Alright, let's wrap this up. If you've got a 1997 D Lincoln penny lying around, check it right now. Seriously, pause the video and go look. I'll wait. The bottom line is this: a regular old penny might just be your golden ticket, and even if it's not, it's still worth checking, because the thrill of the hunt is half the fun and the other half is the satisfaction of being smarter than everyone who throws their pennies in the trash. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on valuable coins, how to spot rare errors, and how to turn your spare change into serious money, do me a solid and hit that subscribe button, tap that like button like it owes you money, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss any of our future treasure hunting adventures. Drop a comment if you've ever found a valuable coin, or if you're just getting into collecting. I read all the comments and I love hearing your stories. Thanks for watching, and remember, the next time you find a penny on the ground, pick it up, because it might be worth $1.8 million.